Today, Prime Minister says $3 billion worth of student debt gets forgiven. Christy, put simply, are we talking about a scenario here where the debt you owe the government, they roll back by about $1,200 per person, or they just aren't adding the increase to the next 12 months worth of debt, so it's really the government letting the government off the government?
Well, it's really the government now coming into line to behave like every other financial institution in the country. If the government was MasterCard, I think there'd be a national outrage with punters. And if they were a publicly listed company doing this, it would be against all governance laws whatsoever. So, yes, people aren't going to get their debt wiped. The process has changed, and that process is a good thing. And I'll just make the point too, the Coalition wiped $500 million of vet fee help student debt too, which was a recovery of all those poor students who were caught up in the Gillard government's vet fee help dodgy RTO rorts. Didn't help them capture young voters out there as well. So I know that the government's hoping that this will capture younger voters, or at least keep them their way instead of going to the Greens. So let's see. I
think we all know that even if they've had Victorian socialists, they're still going to end up preferencing the Labor Party here. James, you got one on this?
Yeah, I've got to say to you, Paul, they haven't gone far enough here. What happens is with those students, they're paying off their weekly HECS debt. They do it every week. It comes out of their wages or fortnightly. The problem is that money is quarantined until after the end of financial year, and then it's applied to their debt. So in the meantime, they're actually putting this CPI against their debt before they actually subtract off the money that they've paid off. If it was a home loan, it'd be completely different. You're actually paying down your debt there from every payment that goes out. But this is something that the government needs to look at as well, because students are getting stiffed. This is just one part of it.
Well, by the way, it's a $23 a week change. Thank goodness the government's there, along with their $15 a week too little too late tax cuts. But it's $1 billion, blah 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 blah, and of course media eats it up rather than uses a calculator to divide by 52. All right, give me the fastest version of this you can. Your bold prediction for the week ahead, Christy.
Look, I think we're going to see. I think there's enough momentum in the community now around, well, government, you're doing nothing about domestic violence. We've seen the federal government come out and not blame the states, but just gently point out that the states aren't doing what they should. I think there's enough anger in the community that we will demand a national cabinet. If we can do it for COVID, why can't we do it to actually make good decisions, like stopping domestic violence and making sure the states are rolling out and meeting those KPIs that they need to have from the federal
just settle for all of the state and premiers.
To where it needs to go.
I'm with you, but I just agree with all the state and territory leaders agreeing to the one A4 piece of paper that they'd all put into the parliament, saying that if you've got form in domestic violence in your current or former relationship, at any time you go before a court, automatic bail will not be given. They could do it tomorrow, they could pass it in the parliament at the first opportunity, but instead, but I'm with you about the ongoing focus.